What is up? What is up? YouTube, how y'all doing? Yeah. I've got my little yeah, that's my signature. Hey, check it out without a doubt. He warned me. Who warned you? Katt Williams react to Terrence Howard's exposing Diddy grape party. Golly, y'all know good and well. If Katt Williams talking about it, then you know it's, man, Katt Williams done broke the internet. Katt Williams started all this stuff, man. He started the door cracking open and you peep in this. You know, if the door crack, you want to peep. You don't even know what's on the other side of that wall. And he was right. We ain't have no idea. I never, ever believed all this crap was going on in behind the doors of the music industry. And then it started exposing more of the stuff in the movie industry and stuff. Now, Terrence Howard was in the movies and stuff. Shout out to Terrence with the hustle and flow. He was in Get Rich or Die Trying. Man, I told you don't shoot nobody. First you come in here, you shoot somebody. Because that's what I do. That's what I do. That's what Terrence was saying, man. That was, yeah. That was some wild scenes and stuff they had in that movie. And he was in Arm Man also. So, hey, he ain't no slouch when it come down to doing some acting, man. He's a great actor also. And y'all know Empire. Is it Power? Empire. Yeah. Never watched it. I need to look that up and start watching that joint just to check it out. But anyway, y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Katt Williams, y'all. Let's see what he got to say. Let's check this bad boy. Yeah. Oh, man. I watched a little teeny bit of it. I done told on myself. I just watched a little bit of it to make sure it was legit. How about that? Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Let's check it out.
I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Hey, did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me.
He said, hell yeah.
For weeks asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach. And my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to... That's what my assistant.
Child, not a day goes by without Katt Williams being vindicated about the tea he has spilled about the industry. Y'all remember how he had the internet in a chokehold last year when he went on Club Shay Shay and made some shocking revelations about Diddy and the things that happened at the freak-offs? Well, Terrence Howard just backed those claims up in an interview and he did not come to play. Y'all know that most celebs have distanced themselves from Diddy, but Terrence is not about to play such games. It looks like he now has Katt Williams to back him up and is about to get messy, so let's break this down. One thing about Terrence Howard, he's going to say what he has to say, and he's going to stand 10 toes behind what he has to say. And in a recent podcast episode that has now gone viral, he exposed Diddy for trying to put moves on him.
Hey, did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach. And my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to... That's what my assistant.
Not only that, but he also made some claims about what Diddy allegedly did to men at his freak-offs, and it did not sound good.
But when you give up your manhood,
your man card,
I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater design.
It didn't take long for fans to link his allegations back to some of the wild comments that other men have made in the industry, including Katt Williams and Dave Chappelle. See, a couple of years ago, Terrence suddenly announced his retirement from Hollywood, which was weird because he was just coming off a successful show and his career was going great. So why on earth would he try to leave? Well, he later came out to claim that the reason that he left was that the industry was trying to emasculate him like it had done to multiple successful black men in the past. This isn't some new allegation either. Over the years, a number of black male actors have come forward with similar stories, saying producers tried to pressure them into wearing dresses for roles or skits where it made no sense at all. Comedian Dave Chappelle, for example, has been calling out this issue for years. He's always spoken up about how Hollywood has this habit of trying to feminize black men, pushing them into roles that make them wear dresses or act super feminine. Chappelle has even admitted that refusing to go along with it caused some serious tension with big name players in the industry, leading to some major behind the scenes drama. Dave Chappelle's decision to stand his ground account actually sparked a huge public fallout with Comedy Central. Things got so heated that he almost walked away from the whole industry, and for a while, he did just that. Later in an interview on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Chappelle opened up about the drama behind the scenes. He shared that he turned down a massive $50 million deal and even left the country for a bit, heading to Africa. One of the main reasons, he said, was the pressure to wear a dress for a sketch, and he pointed the finger directly at Martin Lawrence for pushing him to do it. Chappelle was clear. It wasn't just about one sketch or one request. He felt it was a part of a bigger problem, one where black men in entertainment were being pushed into roles that stripped away their dignity, all disguised as comedy.
Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, why all these brothers gotta wear a dress?
He said, why all these brothers gotta wear a dress?
I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because
there's a dress in here.
They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, you got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? A prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Before anyone jumps in and says Dave could have just refused the dress or had a talk to set his boundaries, he did. According to Dave, he sat down with the producers and straight up told them he wasn't about that dress life. He explained that the whole thing was unnecessary for the movie and that the dress didn't add anything to the plot. It could have easily been scrapped without affecting the storyline at all. But instead of trying to work things out or find a middle ground, the producers dug their heels in and insisted Dave wear the dress. When he kept saying no, they brought in the director, but instead of dealing with the issue head on, they chose to gaslight Dave. They straight up told him he was impossible to work with and tried to pressure him into wearing the dress despite his clear refusals. Dave found himself in a tough spot, standing firm against what he felt were unnecessary demands, and it got to the point where he started questioning if he was overthinking it and reading too much into what was supposed to be a simple scene.
That should have been in a discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're a writer. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? So then,
dang. What is this?
Wear the dress. I don't want to wear the dress. I want to wear this dress. You know what I mean? This is, oh, gosh, this guy's so difficult. They leave. Now the producers come on, David would be so great. I mean, and then I started thinking about it. All the comics that I've seen, man, you know, strong brothers. Why they be putting us in these?
Dave Chappelle wasn't the only one speaking out about this. Kevin Hart also dropped some hints that this kind of pressure is pretty common in Hollywood. While he didn't come right out and say he refused to wear a dress, he did suggest that he'd been faced with similar expectations from the industry. In past interviews, Kevin has hinted at being pushed towards roles that involve wearing dresses. He played it off with his usual humor, but the message was pretty clear. This isn't just a rare occurrence for a few actors. It's something a lot of black men in the industry have to deal with, whether they talk about it publicly or not.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
Okay.
You know, for me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so, you know, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning. I said no to that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. You know, at the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. Yeah. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, you know, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
So it wasn't too shocking when a few years later, Kevin Hart showed up in an SNL.
I think the way Kevin answered the question off the break, I think he knew he was going to put that dress on. He probably, you know, it takes time to do contracts and do all this stuff, and then you see him. So he kind of danced around the answer. He didn't say, no, I would never put on a dress. He never said that. He said, but you got to protect your brand. And I guess protecting his brand was putting on a dress. I guess.
Skit wearing a dress. Naturally, fans started talking, wondering if he made some sort of behind-the-scenes deal with Hollywood's higher-ups, with some wondering if it was his humiliation ritual. For those who don't know, a humiliation ritual is when an artist publicly does something that's super embarrassing or shameful, and in exchange, they gain fame or success. For example, when Will Smith had that whole Oscar incident with Chris Rock, fans started speculating that it was his humiliation ritual, especially since he won his first Oscar after almost 30 years in the industry. Anyway, fans thought Kevin Hart might have come to a similar understanding. His career took off to a whole new level after that SNL skit, landing major roles in big movies with huge paychecks and scoring lucrative deals with Netflix. It definitely made people wonder if there was a connection between that dress moment and his skyrocketing success.
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee 𝗗𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 Wallace.
Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one.
Then we have Katt Williams. See, during this interview on 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦, Katt kept it real and exposed the truth behind.
Dude, you know what make it so bad, man? That joint wasn't even funny. That was not even funny, man. This right here, that joint, I fail to see the humor behind this. This didn't even, first of all, there's a problem in the Catholic Church of them doing essaying to little kids in the first daggone place, so that's not funny. And then they end up doing this skit. Why, man, a lot of people should have complained over this. I mean, that's just my opinion. A lot of people should have complained over this. And he got on a dress. It's a Catholic church. You don't even need a dress. They over there messing with little boys. So it's whack. Everything about this thing is whack.
Pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee 𝗗𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 Wallace.
Never seen a pope. Never seen a pope in a dress.
Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one.
Then we have Katt Williams. See, during this interview on 𝗗𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦, Katt kept it real and exposed the truth behind all this emasculation talk in Hollywood. He said it happens way more than people think. According to him, there's usually some big check attached to these requests, and it's not by accident. But Katt made it clear. He's turned down serious money more than once because he wasn't about to compromise himself like that.
Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about.
I was telling you about.
Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need another one. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Come on.
Because early on you was accused.
He also claimed that even though he was man enough to turn down the gigs, many other actors weren't, and he name dropped a few.
I need you. You my young partner. You my brother in comedy. When I come back, just promise me that my next movie, it'll be me and you. We gonna do it together. We gonna do some buddy cop shit. I said, Martin, you got my word. Go do what you got to do. When you come back, I'm in your movie. Don't trip. I don't need to see the script or nothing. You know, we get in that office and this fool pull out Big Mama's House 2. I almost died. And I got to read this script from all these good white people.
Good, right.
Oh, my God. They want me to get in a dress with him. And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again? You already played the old lady as an FBI agent. We can play anything now. We can be playing a dog catcher this time. Why do we need to be in a dress? And I get so mad, I say, you don't want me. You want Brandon T. Jackson. And that's who they went and got. Twice I said it, they went and got him. Just like I'm telling you, I had that other dude's work. I had all of it. All I did was say, I want to punch it up so it's not offensive to real. And
interestingly, when Katt made these claims, Terrence was one of the first to react and support him. He said, my daddy taught me never take the vertebrae out of your back or the base out of your throat. I ain't raising sheep, I raise men. Stay a man. Being a man comes with a curse because it's not a society made for men to flourish anymore. Everything is androgynous, you know. The more successful men now are the effeminate. In another interview, he said, the man has been demonized. With the new formula, most men are made to be effeminate and not have their power or sense of strength. They allow white men to be able to be strong, wrong, but when it's black men, it's seen as a threat. I don't want to remove a few chromosomes to fit in someone's story, so I feel they need to expand their stories to allow men to be men and simultaneously appreciate a woman's beauty. Child, Katt Williams has to be feeling pretty good right now. The more we find out, the more he becomes vindicated, and at this point, his word is pretty much gospel. Anywho, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, and then check out this next video.
Anywho, that's crazy, man. Oh my gracious, man. They just throwing, dude. Hollywood and the music industry, they just throwing any goddamn thing to you, man. Just make it real fast, throw it in their face, tell them it's the bomb, and they gonna like it. Nobody is putting no real talent behind this stuff no more, man. Golly. Hey, y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.